on the balcony and I was painting is I would recreate in my paintings the love I felt for children. Instead of doing something for them, I was actually being with them through my painting. I was addressing my love as a form of expression in that painting. Sometimes I would say hi, but I really never engaged with them other than that. And I didn't feel all that comfortable exiting the property on that side street. I would always go out the front street that went straight to St. Charles Avenue, so I could go straight to the trolley. But everybody knew where I lived. Who did I think I was hiding anything from? Anyway, that was my little protocol in those days. And life was nice. It was a wonderful, heart-centered experience, one of the great days of my life. And on Easter morning, I was graced with one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. The children had actually come inside the wall, and they had a basket of flowers, and they were singing to me below the balcony. Now, where in the world did that incentive come from? You see, I think it came from the fact that by being the love that are, they mirrored it. And they became the love that they are in relation to me, in relation to that experience. And the greater love was giving them an opportunity to show their love. You see, it wasn't nearly as important for me to show love. I already knew about love, but they were in a very, very critical position in their life. Very, very critical, where it was important for them to learn love and to learn that it came from inside them. That was a greater gift to give them than to give them new shoes that they might throw back at me. Because I'm a more advantaged person than they are, and I just made a judgment of them. Maybe they wanted to be barefoot. Maybe they had fun throwing rocks at cars, and for me to tell them that's not really the best way to live or to get along with people would not have built that kind of friendship. For them to literally show up on Easter morning, and why would they be there, of all places, with me, singing, with a basket of flowers on Easter morning? Well, here's the larger part of the story. What was the year Katrina hit? 2005? Yes. In May of 2005, I had the strongest urge that you could imagine to go back to. I had not been back to New Orleans since I left, and that was in my college years. So we're talking about 30 years more. I had not had more, like 35 years since I had been back to New Orleans, and I had the strongest urge to go back to New Orleans. And I went. I actually found an external reason why I went, but that really wasn't the reason I went. I had to find some way to justify why I went, but I went. And I was there for about 3 days. I went to all of my favorite places, went to every apartment I lived in, went on the campus, went to every one of my favorite restaurants, went through the Garden District, rode the trolley back and forth, and I wore out the trolley, went down to the French Quarter, and I walked down Bourbon Street and walked down Royal Street, and I walked along the wharf, and I took a riverboat ride. I was just soaking it up. I wanted to see. I just wanted to bring it back inside me. And I came back and I told my husband, Larry, what a great time I had. And I said, Larry, there's something in me I've got to go back. And you've got to go with me. You've got to go. And I said, there's one place that we have to go. You have got to go see my slave quarter home where that story happened that's in the book. You've got to go feel that with me. I said, it's still there, and I don't think a tree has changed. They had renovated. It was getting a little bit run down. And I made the comment to Larry. I said, if the storm hits this house, And I shared everything with Larry from just a deep, heart-centered place. And I took him to the house, and we went to normally the gate, the wall has 2 locked gates, and both of the gates were open. And I pushed on it, and I said, Larry, come on, let's go in. See, there's this huge brick antebellum home. We're talking 3-story. I have no idea how many square feet are in it, but it was a plantation home. It was huge. With a wall around that, probably, I would say, 3/4 of an acre. And on the back corner is the slave quarter that was itself about 2,500 square feet, 2 stories, with an upper balcony, and that's where I lived. And I said, Larry, we got to go inside. We've got to walk around this. And we just trespassed. I just took him right inside. I said, Larry, Larry is not impressed by very much because he's seen so much. He's been so many wonderful places, and he's felt so many wonderful things. And it's like we were walking on holy ground. And we were both tiptoeing, we were whispering. And we walked around the major mansion, and he looked up and he said, you lived in this when you were a college student? And I said, yeah, wasn't it wonderful? And there was a tree right beside the balcony upstairs that had a bent limb. I think it was a magnolia tree, and the limb came over the balcony, and I said, I had a cat, her name was Popcorn, and she went in and out of my window. That way I could keep a little window open, and Popcorn would go up and down the tree whenever she wanted to. And I told her about all the names of the birds and all the names of the trees that I had named them. And this is where I did some paintings that had become rather well-known paintings. I said, and this is where I painted that painting, and this is where I stood and I painted that painting. And I could tell somebody was living in the slave quarter, in the residence. But I said, come on, let's walk up. We've got to go up the balcony. You've got to stand up here on the balcony. And we went up to the balcony and we held hands. And I said, this is where I love the children. This is where the children stood when I loved them. And he felt it so powerfully. We hugged each other. 2 days later, Katrina struck. We went there for a reason. We went there to be the prayer. We literally went there to be the prayer. And that's what happened years before when I was there painting and being the prayer instead of doing the interference number. If we would learn to be the prayer, we will change the world. Unfortunately, it didn't change it enough. But, you know what? That house is still standing. I had my friends check on it. You know what else? That neighborhood wasn't hurt. It was flooded a little bit. And people temporarily were out of their homes, but there was no deep foundation damage in that